Did Blueface really set up the mother of his child to get rained up on in Compton? That question has been circulating non-stop since footage surfaced of Chrisean Rock getting confronted by a group of women at a Christmas parade, and what makes it worse is that Blueface responded by mocking her online instead of checking if she was okay. Chrisean started talking after that, and the accusations she made have fans convinced this was no random incident. She claims he orchestrated the whole thing from behind the scenes. And now she's promising to confront his new girlfriend as payback, which brings us to the wildest part of this whole mess. While all of this chaos was unfolding, Chrisean sat in a chair crying her eyes out as a technician lasered the Blueface tattoo off her face, and at the exact same time across town, his new girl was getting his name permanently inked on her neck. One woman breaking free while another dives headfirst into the same cycle. And the symbolism alone tells you everything you need to know about how this story ends. Understanding why this moment landed so hard requires knowing what Blueface has been up to since getting home. November 3rd marked his release after serving 21 months behind bars for violating probation tied to a 2021 situation with a nightclub bouncer in Vegas. Within hours of touching down, drama was already waiting at his doorstep. His first baby mama Jaden Alexis wanted all the smoke with Chrisean, his mom Carlisa inserted herself into the middle of everything like she always does, and Blueface himself wasted zero time falling back into old patterns. A woman named Hazel E became his girlfriend almost immediately after his release, but he ended things publicly on Thanksgiving and moved on to a younger woman named Neve Akira by the following week. 3 weeks is all it took for him to cycle through 2 relationships. When the Compton incident went down in mid-December, barely 6 weeks had passed since his release, and somehow he was already at the center of another explosive situation involving the mother of his child. December 13th is when everything went left. Chrisean showed up to Wilson Park in Compton for a community event, a meet and greet with local families that included a prayer circle with children. Everything appeared peaceful at first. As she tried to leave, a group of women surrounded her and started filming, and the energy shifted the moment she reached out to move one of their phones back. One woman put hands on her face without any major argument beforehand, and within seconds more women got involved until it became 5 or 6 against 1. Anyone who has watched Chrisean on Baddies already knows she can handle herself, and witnesses at the scene confirmed she held her own without backing down. She went at multiple people at once, walked away with her chain still on and no visible marks, and the women who confronted her came out looking worse than she did. Here's where the whole thing starts looking like more than a random altercation. The women who ran up on Chrisean took to social media immediately to brag about what happened, posting videos with their faces showing while talking about how they handled her.
You gonna get beat up again?
What stood out was how often they mentioned Blueface's name, bringing him up over and over while referencing his hood affiliations and LA street politics. One of them even tagged Zeus Network and people associated with Baddies, and that's when speculation kicked into overdrive. Rumors spread that Blueface had gotten close to these women and promised them a spot on reality TV in exchange for confronting Chrisean. None of that has been confirmed, but given his history of bragging about creating the next big reality star, fans weren't exactly shocked by the theory. The eagerness these women showed to claim credit and tag industry people made the whole situation look calculated instead of spontaneous. Blueface's reaction is what really raised eyebrows. No private call to make sure she was okay, no staying quiet to let things blow over. His Instagram story went up with a post saying don't play with LA street culture because you'll get checked for things you don't even understand, and then he reposted the video of her getting confronted for all his followers to see. Twitter got a post too, just 7 words that read, "Don't ever play with the C." Instead of distancing himself, he aligned publicly with the people who ran up on the mother of his child. Chrisean revealed that he called her right after the altercation wanting to come see her, but she refused and told him to stay where he was because she didn't need his fake love.
He called me in the middle of me sitting in the car. They telling me pull out. I said I'm not pulling on. I beg for I want to call. Keep Chrisean, Blue. Get off my phone. Hang up. What are you calling me for now? Oh, I'm about to come over. No, I have a strict program. I'm in the bed by 8:30. You're not coming over here. I'm not going over there. I'm gonna do good, just being celibate. You know what I'm saying? No, that's a trap. I don't need fake love.
The timing of that call struck her as suspicious, and she questioned why he would suddenly want to meet up right after she got into it with those women, unless he had something to do with it. Telling her side meant going all the way in on Blueface without holding back. Instagram Live came first, followed by multiple written statements calling him out directly. Her account of events was simple. She went to Compton for the kids with no security. These women tried to play her, and they got handled instead. 6 against 1, and she still came out on top is how she framed it. The biggest accusation though was that Blueface had a hand in setting her up, and she called him out for what she described as fake politics while claiming he's too scared to even go to his own hood, let alone Compton. What hit hardest was the reminder that their son was with her at the time of the altercation, which means if Blueface really did orchestrate this, he did it knowing his own child could end up caught in the middle. That detail changed how people viewed the situation because this stopped being just ex-drama and became something that put a toddler at risk. Family relationships fractured further when Chrisean blocked Carlissa from seeing their son over the holidays. And after Carlissa tried to intervene by getting Blueface on the phone, the call turned into an argument that made everything worse. Something symbolic played out on the other side of this story during the same week. Days after the Compton incident, Chrisean went to get her Blueface tattoo removed, the massive portrait of his mugshot that had been on her face along with multiple other tattoos of his name scattered across her body. Over 20,000 people watched her live stream the removal process, and she broke down in tears the moment the laser touched her skin. Physical pain mixed with the emotional weight of finally letting go, and she later posted that removing that tattoo was a huge accomplishment that released trauma she had been carrying for years. Her heart was broken, but she was ready to move on is how she put it. And then came the twist that nobody saw coming. On the exact same day Chrisean sat through that painful removal, Blueface's new girlfriend Nevaeh Akira got his name tattooed under her chin in cursive, the word Jonathan permanently inked on her neck. Blueface filmed the whole thing and posted it to his story with a warning that she better not do any cover-ups or laser removal, and he called what Chrisean did weak. One woman finally escaping while another woman signs up for the same fate, and the contrast between those two moments couldn't have been sharper. The tattoo situation got messier once Blueface's mom noticed a mistake. Carlissa caught that the name was spelled wrong since his legal name is Jonathan with an H, but Nevaeh got Jonathan without it. She called out the error publicly and joked that her son didn't even bother to correct his girlfriend before she made it permanent. A Bible verse reference to John 3:16 accompanied her post, her way of saying if you want to know how to spell my son's name, then read the scripture. Fans went crazy comparing Nevaeh to Chrisean and predicting she'd be getting that same laser treatment within a year. The pattern people pointed out was how Blueface attracts women willing to tattoo his name on their bodies before they even know him, and Nevaeh proved that pattern true after dating him for only a few weeks. Rumors about her possibly expecting started circulating after a test appeared visible in the background of one of her live streams, and Blueface's mom responded to those rumors by pointing out her son hasn't even been home for 60 days. The timeline doesn't add up unless Nevaeh was already in that situation before they got together. Nevaeh now finds herself caught in the middle of something she probably never anticipated when she started dating Blueface. Chrisean made her intentions clear after the Compton incident by posting warnings aimed directly at his new girl, saying she was going to come for that pretty face. Whether those words turn into action remains uncertain, but Chrisean has a history of following through on what she says given all the physical altercations she's been in on baddies and off camera. Jealousy over how fast Blueface moved on is what the streets have been saying motivates her, and confronting Nevaeh might be her way of channeling that frustration. Nevaeh isn't coming into this innocent either, since she already got into it with Carlissa at Blueface's welcome home party, when the two nearly came to blows before he stepped in to break it up. She's shown she'll stand on it when pushed, which means any confrontation with Chrisean won't be one-sided. Less than 2 months home, and Blueface sits at the center of multiple controversies with no sign of slowing down. 2 baby mamas, who despise each other, a new girlfriend who's tattooed and possibly expecting, and a mother who inserts herself into every situation no matter how messy it gets. Chrisean is out here getting ran up on in Compton, warning his new girl and accusing him of setting her up while their toddler watches from the sidelines, and Blueface keeps posting through all of it completely unbothered. Chaos follows him everywhere, and changing that doesn't seem to interest him at all. The real question hanging over everything is how long before Nevaeh becomes the next cautionary tale, because she already has the tattoo, she's already beefing with his family, and his ex is already targeting her. Everything Chrisean went through is starting to look like a preview of what's coming, and this story isn't close to finished. With Chrisean promising to get even, the next chapter is just a matter of time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss any of the celebrity gossip. Thanks for watching.